guys. I'm Leona, and this is Handicapped and Hot. Today we're going to be talking about transgender people. So, Glenn, let's talk about it. What's what are transgender people to you?
So, transgender people to me are people that are, I guess, either transitioning or have transitioned from one of the original biological genders to the next.
Oh my gosh, that's so complicated. It's
I'm
really
sorry.
no, it's not your fault. It's just it is what it is. It's hard to describe. It's hard to discuss. It's hard to understand. So I'm really not sure because I remember, like, I know this is going to sound bad, but, well, I'm not going to use that term. Like, years ago, when they used to call people trans, they didn't say trans. They said it was a different ending of the word. Starts with
I know.
trans, ends with something else. And those were generally men who dressed up as women. But now it's like there could be women dressing like men, and there's people, some of them have surgery, some of them haven't, some of them are on hormones, some of them are not. It's very, very confusing. Let's see what good old Webster says about it. It's so confusing. Your definition was probably pretty good, but um let's see, Webster. I like Webster, Merriam-Webster. Of relating to or being a person whose gender identity differs from the sex the person had or was identified as having at birth, especially of relating to or being a person whose gender identity is opposite the sex the person had or was identified at birth. It can only be opposite if it's not the same. Like, what the heck are they talking about? I don't know. I can't, and I feel bad for people who have these feelings. I do. Do you think it's normal, or do you think something else is going on?
um, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to put a blanket on the whole situation. Um,
Yeah,
I I would think in some situations, there's something that was wrong that happened, or
I can't hear anybody.
something, or like something was like lacking, I guess.
Could be. Um, yeah, I don't really know. To be honest, I think it could be a lot of things. I do think there has to be a level of mental health issues going on, just because, like, if you want to be something else that you weren't born, then there's like you got to accept that. But if you don't, then there's an issue there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the reason usually is a person feels like they were born into the wrong body.
Yeah, and that has to, like, that just goes to show you, like, there's something wrong. Like, nobody was born into the wrong body. I could say that because I want to be taller and I want to have this and that. But I mean, I wear heels, so I'm fine. But like, imagine if I was like that, and I just started, like, trying to get surgeries and flipping out and whatever else. Like, I don't know. There could be something wrong. Like, I don't. I know, like for kids, they probably don't see much when it comes to, like, transgender people, and I know sometimes they get freaked out about it, especially when it's a man dressed like a woman. Like, kids know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
one time, now that doesn't mean that they hate or they're mad or anything like that, but
No.
like one time, this was a few years ago. I may have told you about it. I was with David, my younger son, and we were in Cold Stone Creamery, the ice cream place. So there were like two or three girls. They looked like, young adults, maybe teenagers. and one transgender person, and it was freaking him out. His eyes were all huge. He kept looking over. He didn't know the terms or whatever, but he just knew something was up. And the voice was all weird, and the other girls kind of had heels on, and he had these like beat down flip flops with gigantic feet. Like I mean, yeah, because it was a guy who was just like a girl and hanging out with girls. But then he also was like hunched over because like he felt big. Like I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of discomfort there. You know? I don't know. Like, what have you seen one, or have you seen like a transgender person and been like uncomfortable?
It feels even almost too touchy to even say, "Have you seen one?" Almost like you people. It
No,
seems
well, that's
like
why I try to clean it up a little bit because it's hard because you don't know what to call them. You have to have all these pronouns, and you're like him, her, she, Mister. I don't know. I don't know. It's very hard. Yeah, it was not the best wording, but it is what it is. Like I, I feel bad, I do, and I feel like people should be able to dress however they want,
oh yeah.
but at the same time, like you shouldn't be trying to act like a woman if you're a man, and vice versa. What do you think about that?
Why person shouldn't dress like a woman if they're a man?
No, acting like, because the dress is like depending on what they're wearing, that's like subjective. But like if a man is acting like a woman or a woman is acting like a man, I think that's bad. What do you think?
I mean, yeah. I don't think it's good behavior um for a man to act like a woman. I mean, like men are supposed to be the strong and you know main protectors, and if they're acting like more you know because basically when they're doing it, they're being, which is mainly what Dylan Mulvaney does, is act like a caricature of a woman and what woman stereotypes are, and that
That's true.
you
Yeah,
know
that's true.
you know. So no, I don't really agree with it. No. As far as on the other side, I mean that's how a lot of chicks get hurt trying to fight dude, you know, in
No,
bar fights and stuff. You know.
yeah, yeah. No, I get it. But yeah, Dylan Mulvaney, that guy, I didn't really know much about him. I had seen him here or there, but then like I don't know, like a week ago, he told me about that Budweiser thing.
Hmm.
It's weird. You said his face was on the can, right? I didn't see it.
I don't think those were in circulation, but he got
Okay.
like the 6 pack that Bud Light made for him with his face on it,
Like for
I believe.
what? There's no hetero beer. There's no. I don't understand where that comes into play and why that would even be um like attractive to anybody. And obviously not in that kind of way, but like I don't understand why anybody would think like, oh yeah, let me get this beer because a trans person is on it. Like I don't get that. But I haven't seen him like videos or anything of him. I've just seen like pictures. I don't know where I've seen him, but I can't remember how exactly he acts. But yeah, that does bother me when it's like women don't act like that. So then what are you doing? You're looking like a heavily made up woman, but you're acting right now. So like what is the goal here? Trying to be a woman, trying to pass for a woman, trying to fully transition into a woman, or you just playing dress up for a little while and acting like an exaggerated form of a woman. Like what is it? I think there's confusion there. And I do not like confusion. But I don't know. Maybe I should talk to. See, this is the trouble with this too. Like some people are sensitive. There's some trans people who would be cool talking about it, but
Hmm.
you gotta like know the person and excuse me, like feel out the situation because you don't want to be insulting either, you know.
No,
But
you don't want to be insulting, no.
yeah, I don't know, man. So there's like those shows that they have with the what were those shows like the trans shows, trans like
There's a RuPaul's Drag Race.
no, the ones where they were having like little kids show up there at bars and they were have like drag shows. Didn't they have those at like strip joints and stuff?
I
They had like
mean, they've had like they've had drag shows where they've had children at some of the drag shows and some of the different parades, and yeah, like
for
that
what?
it's too much. It's
I don't
almost like
understand why even have them there. There's no reason for it. These like I've seen a couple of them like on shows or whatever because you know I'm not into that and stuff like that. I don't go to strip clubs. Doesn't matter what the sexuality is. That's just not my thing. But why would you bring a kid to anything like that? Like when you see drag people dressed in drag, and that's usually men dressed like women, right? It's never the other way around, right? I mean, I don't know that it is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like, why do I want my kid um to look at that? Like for me, I don't think it helps anything. I don't think it's constructive. I just don't see the point in it. Like what the heck? Why would you bring a kid there? And then they have like the trans reading, like book reading at school. Like for what? What do you need to like it's teaching them? They don't need to be taught. It's just really weird to me. I don't understand it. Um it sounded like it was echoing on your side. I think it
Is
was.
it?
No, went away now. I don't hear. No, it's a little bit. Oh, we'll get through it. But yeah, like I just don't get that. I don't know why they feel like they have to do all these things like that. Like, well, you don't have kids, but if your kid had a teacher that was a transgender person, man or woman, would you leave your kid in that class?
Hmm. It's funny you asked that. Um, there was a whole debate on that a few weeks ago that I saw. Um,
Who's debating?
I forget the channel, but like it was people from different, opposing sides on the, whole topic,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about it. There was one of them was a trans male teacher, or maybe he might have just been gay. I don't know. He was wearing makeup, and he was saying the when the parents saw him, they like a bunch of the parents took their kids out of the class when they
Yeah,
first
I think
saw
I
him.
saw
Like,
that.
yeah. But would I personally myself? I mean, if there can honestly be a person that's trans that can just teach, say it's supposed to be math class or English, and they just teach them that and not some part of their agenda or trying
And
to mold the kid into being what they are and grooming them. You know what I mean?
mhm.
As long as that's not being done, then yeah, if they're really sticking to what the curriculum is, then why not?
What if they're like
But
really flamboyant? Depends.
yeah, I mean, no, it's still the same. I believe I wouldn't take them out, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It's but then like how do you know exactly what your kid is being taught in the school either because you're not sitting there hearing it.
Yeah.
And if they start teaching anything that I don't like, then yeah, taking them out of the class immediately. But just for being flamboyant, I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, I feel a lot the same about that. Like, yeah, I would um I would want to give them a chance, and like, so I know my oldest son will probably be like quieter about it, but my younger son, he wouldn't say anything in front of the teacher or anything, but he'd tell me like how he feels, and if it made him uncomfortable, then I'd take him out of there. Because I just know like there's some things that are not actually natural, and some kids don't like that. They don't feel comfortable, and I wouldn't make him stay in there. But I would also make him, not make him, but make sure that he's being respectful too. Like you still have to respect people, consider their feelings and things like that, because there's no reason to just like be mean or anything like that. But I haven't had that situation. I met all of my younger son's teachers this year. Um they're all hetero. He's got guys and girls. They're all um I think they're all married too. But not that that's a big deal, but my friend, her son has a kid who he has a teacher that's trans, and I don't know if it's a man or a woman because I forgot the details, but the teacher's name's Mix whatever. Like instead of Miss or Mister, it's Mix. And I I don't know. I think it's a guy. Yeah, I think it's a guy who dresses like a girl, and she says she's really nice, and the pronouns are she, I think, or them. I don't know. I get confused. I'm not gonna lie, but my friend who's a woman said that mix blah 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 is really nice, and I'm like, well, that's cool. For now, as long as, like I said, as long as they're respectful and nice, and they're not putting any of that into what they teach. And by the way, that goes for anybody though, because if a teacher's out there being reckless, telling you their crazy views and stuff that has nothing to do with the curriculum, like beat it. You shouldn't be in here anyway. I don't want you telling my kid about your personal stuff and all that stuff. Like I don't like that. So I, I I want that to be clear too. That's like an issue. You have to make sure you know what's going on, who's you know saying what. Like I have all these waivers I have to sign for my younger son. So and it's annoying, but I appreciate it because you can't just say whatever you want and teach whatever you want. I know they try to, but people have to remember you do have rights to your child and teaching your child. And that guy, that teacher, I do remember that. And this lady was talking to him, the one that you said it was like a YouTube video or something like that.
Hmm.
He was like so mad about it. And the mom was like, "Well, it's my kid. Like, if I don't want you to teach my child, that's my right." Like, and that guy, he had no kids, so he really doesn't even know how it feels. And I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion because you don't have kids. I just asked you yours, obviously, and you don't have kids. But you can't tell a parent like, "Hey, I'm transgender, and I want to teach your kid," and you don't have any say about it. It's just not how it works. That's an issue too. It's like sometimes with these situations, some people, in this case, trans people, are like, oh, these are my rights, these are my rights, these are my rights. And then when you choose to exercise your rights, and if it's in any way contrary to what they're saying or what they want, then all of a sudden your rights are out the window. Now those rights don't matter. You're like, well, how come your rights matter over mine? Like, no, that's not how this works. Not a fan. I'm definitely not a fan. So, um, what do you think about the women that you were talking about who like sometimes get themselves hurt? Like, have you seen any trans women who are like dressed like men and been in situations like that?
No. Um,
Have you heard of
but
them?
yeah, yeah, I've definitely heard of situations where, you know, um, who's telling me? Someone was telling me that it was in a bar fight that I don't know, they were arguing. There was one chick that was like kind of like dressed like a dude, and she was arguing with a guy, and the guy just beat her up,
Mm,
and it's like that's messed up. You shouldn't be hitting girls anyway. But I'm not sure if he knew that she was a girl But
Nah, I mean, a lot of times you can tell. A lot of times you can tell,
yeah, definitely.
especially by the size. Because I know there's some women who look masculine. Remember we saw that lady today on TV?
Oh yeah, she had a big neck.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, like a lot of times you can tell. And then if you can't tell, you're confused about it. But usually there's like, yeah, that's not very feminine. But I think that there's like the concept of what's masculine and what's feminine has really been misconstrued. So
Yeah,
when,
yes.
yeah, so like when a guy decides he wants to be a woman, he starts talking weird, putting on fake nails. And to me, fake nails is not a feminine thing. It's a fake thing. Like dyeing your hair or getting your hair styled a certain way. That's a vain thing. I don't think it's a feminine thing. Guys get their hair done too. Not as much as women, but it's a vanity thing. That's really all that is. I don't think it's masculine or feminine to get your hair done or styled or dyed. But that's a thing out there where people are like, "Yo, you're acting like a woman because like because men dye their hair and stuff like that." It's like, what's the difference
Mm.
when you do it? Or if they like, put chemicals in it or whatever. What else do they say? Dresses. Now, culturally, I know dresses are for women in most of the world. But there was a time, like way, way back, thousands of years ago, when everybody wore dresses. They called them robes. Like, that's what they were. They weren't pants back then. So at some point, it's split off, and now there's pants for men, and then there's dresses for women, and now there's pants for women and pants for men, but there's no dresses for men unless you wear a kilt. And that's like
Huh.
in Ireland, Scotland, and they have kilts for like, what is it, Egypt too, but they're not called kilts there, but it's a similar thing. But it's weird. Like none of those things are like actually inherently feminine. So I don't know why they have these. Even painting your nails. I don't like. I really don't think that that's a feminine thing. It is now because it's been made to be. But like, I don't paint my nails most of the time. I put some glitter on the other day, and my one nail's like blue. But that's because I'm gonna do them for vacation so they can look cute. But what's feminine about having colorful fingertips? I don't think that's feminine. Like, no one can actually name how these things are feminine. What else? The way they walk. I think women are going to walk a little bit differently because of their body shape. Because, like, a skinny girl might look like she's walking like a dude. And then, like, a big girl with more hips and thighs. You know what I'm talking about?
Some girls put a little extra accent on their walk too.
Yeah, and that annoys me. Like, why are you walking all extra? If I did that, I would, like, pop a hip or something. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but then some women literally can't handle it. Because I remember, like, my older sister, you know what she looks like. So she's a big girl. She has a huge butt. I always told her. And I used to be like wondering why she was walking like that. And my mom was like, "Oh, she can't help it." And I'm like, "Yes, she can." Like, I hated it, but it's a thing. Like some people just walk like that because that's how their body's shaped. But not every woman has to walk all extra and all that stuff. What else is it? What else is stuff that they do that transgender people think that women do?
Um,
Makeup. I don't really wear makeup. I wear it because I get paid to wear it for when I do my jobs, but I don't really wear it, and I'm a girl. What the
yeah,
heck?
it's not healthy for your face.
Mm. But there's guys who wear makeup on TV because
Oh
they're on
yeah.
TV, but they're still wearing makeup. Like if it's gonna enhance what you have, then cool. When you start to like create a whole new face, then that's not cool. Like at all. That crap is scary. I was talking to my younger son the other day, and he said something about makeup, and I was like, "Do you like girls who wear makeup?" Because I know my oldest son does not. And he was like, oh, a little makeup's okay, but you know, he's like, some of those girls be looking scary, and I just run away. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, no, it's just like if they have so much on, I can't really see under there. He's like, I don't know what's going on. He's like, I'm out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you know how you know how he talks. He was serious too. But I mean, I'm not running anywhere. But yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the heavy, thick makeup because it's like you're hiding something. What are you hiding? What do you look like underneath there? That's a scary thought too. Thinking about the reveal, you know?
The reveal.
Yes, that's crazy. I'd rather somebody meet me with no makeup on and then I put makeup on one day and then I like look a little nicer. I wouldn't judge you if you wore makeup.
Me?
Yep. You I wouldn't judge you if you wore makeup. I might laugh.
You should laugh at me, and then you should
But
keep
I,
laughing at me, and then you
yeah.
shouldn't stop laughing at me until I take it off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sorry, I'm about to start driving to my
To your next
training.
destination. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about that? Are there any women in your class?
There was a cop, but she hasn't been there in a while, so I don't know. He said that her schedule got a little crazy that she couldn't come, so I don't
Well, would you categorize her as feminine, masculine?
know. I mean, she's pretty regular, you know,
Well,
for like a
how let's
hot.
start with her look. Like what she look like, her actual physical. Short, tall.
She was pretty tall for a girl. She was like
Mm.
maybe like 5'7", 5'8", something around there.
How about the build?
A little stocky, not
Okay.
like crazy, but a
No, but
little bit.
she could hold her own against a man in your class.
Yeah,
Let's.
she hit like a tank. She hit me in the gut.
Who
Well,
says
yeah,
that? Like a tank?
yeah.
What the heck? Anyway, all right. So she's stocky, tall, hits like a tank. How about like her facial structure?
What do you mean? As far as like,
Strong jaw, strong features.
no, no, not really at all. Actually, she looked like just like a regular, uh, you know, woman,
Yeah,
pretty
totally.
much.
There's no
Like a girl next door type of look to her. But like a little bit
tall.
stockier, maybe a
Yeah,
little bit stronger looking. You know what I mean?
stronger looking. That just sounds so funny to me. Don't I look strong? No, not at all. I
And,
don't.
and you know the story. She has like mostly brothers, and her brothers beat her up. She was
Oh,
young.
she's a tomboy.
Yeah, so she learned how to fight a little bit from that.
Hmm, that's good. That's a weird term though, tomboys. Like it doesn't make any sense because Tom was probably always a boy, right? Like why
Yeah,
would you say tomboy? It should be tom girl because you're acting like a boy. I was a tomboy. I'm gonna call myself a tom girl right now. But like, why would they stick that on there? Like, it makes no sense to me. You're a girl who quote unquote acts like a boy, and they said that I act like a boy because I used to like climb trees and run around, ride my bike with the boys, play fight, wrestle, all that crap. So I was a tomboy, but like I wasn't acting like an actual boy. I was just an active child that didn't care what I was playing as long as I was playing, you know? But that's how that junk starts with the whole like gender nonsense. Let kids play um when oh, that was a dog. When my youngest son was little, I used to do my nails sometimes. And well, when my oldest son was little, I did my nails and he wanted to do his nails because I did my nails. And I told him no, because that's for girls. And he was fine with that. But then when it came to my youngest son, he was a baby. Yeah, he didn't take no for an answer. I was like, no, that's for girls. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And ripped the nail polish open and painted nail polish like across his whole foot. So every time I did my nails, I had to do his nails. But the compromise, because he was like one, but I talked to them like they were little adults. So he
Right, right, right.
understood. And he used to speak too. Like, I know people act like 1 year olds don't talk, but both of my kids spoke before they were one. So he would talk and he understood, and I told him like, okay, since you're a boy, you can have some nail polish, but you can only have it on your toes. And he would wear socks, and nobody knew, but also it was only clear. So one time we were at my sister's house, and she was like taking his clothes off so he could take a bath, and she was like, "Oh, you put nail polish on him?" And I'm like, "It's clear. Calm down." She was like, "Why did you do that?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Because he did it himself, and that was the only way I could get him to like calm down." But it's very natural for little boys who want to do what their mom's doing. So wear their heels? Yes. Both of my boys have worn my heels, and they've worn them better than me because they don't need a cane. They were clicking and clacking around the house with them, and they were fine. They both wanted to wear lip gloss, makeup. They would take my little kabuki brush and rub their face up with it. Like, it was fine. You got to teach them when stuff is appropriate, what's going to happen. If we're in public and somebody sees you do this, you're probably going to get laughed at. So, yeah, those are the kinds of conversations I had with the boys. But I still let them play around a little bit and let them just like be curious little kids. And I didn't say to them, yeah, you know what? You can put these shoes on. Let's go buy some heels in your size and start like putting makeup on their faces and stuff. Like, I did not do that. Like, I think that you need to give them information, let them check things out, but not push things on them either. And most little kids do not want a face full of makeup. Some of them do, but most don't. They don't want that until they see you doing it. I know.
Face full of makeup is a bad thing. I
Yeah.
think people love makeup.
Well, did your exes wear makeup?
Some of them did, some of them didn't.
Never a lot, though, right?
No, never a lot.
Yeah. I think it's okay to enhance. Like, you enhance this and that, then that's fine. But I don't know. Like I said, maybe when I get older, I'll start wearing makeup when I start looking beat down.
When you
But
start
maybe
looking beat down,
huh?
you said when you start looking beat down.
That's exactly what I said. I hope it doesn't happen, but it might. I don't know. And I'm getting prepared. But to be honest, I don't even know if I'll be able to find something I'm not allergic to. So I put that junk on and break out the next day or a few minutes after that. But yeah, you guys could start wearing makeup in the near future. It could be a metro thing. Remember metrosexual? Remember that term?
I refuse.
Well, it's fine. But you might want to. I'm not going to judge, but I will throw it in your face.
You know what?
I said I will throw it in your face. Like, remember you
Yeah, you
said
should.
you were. Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, you should laugh at me until I take it off.
No, that's mean. I don't think I would do that. Oh, but I don't know, man. The transgender thing is tough. I think it is. I think it's a little too pushy too. Like, you can't just be what you want to be. It's always got to be like, in your face. What do you think that's about?
I think I hate to even say it, but I feel like it's to recruit more members to the team.
What team? The transgender team?
Yeah,
So you think they're just looking for more people to be like them?
possibly. Yeah, but it seems like
Yeah. I think that I think some transgender people want to be accepted for who and what they are. So I think there's like a misidentification because like who they are is not what they're doing all the time. Sometimes it can be, but I feel like your sexual identity is not who you are. That's what you do intimately. But then when it comes to transgender, that is an out thing. That's how you are publicly to other people. So it's a very confusing situation. Didn't you say Dylan Mulvaney was at the president's at the White House talking to the president?
Yeah, he went to the White House to talk with the president.
What did he talk to him about?
Trans issues. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I'm not even exactly sure. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but
Hmm.
yeah, he's talking about trans issues.
Which I wonder what those are because I know there's like the sports thing. What's your take on the sports, transgender sports?
Jeez. Well, I think it's unfair because there's not enough estrogen replacement, or sorry, testosterone replacement to take the man out of the man.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
It's always going to happen, especially with fighting. Like that's the worst part of it because you can really,
Right. No, that was a great point. There's not enough
take them out of,
hormone replacement to take the man out of the man or testosterone out of the man. How'd you
to
put
take
it?
enough testosterone out of the man to handicap him enough to put him on the level of a woman.
No, I agree. And I'm sure somebody would feel bad about you saying handicap, but the truth of the matter is like they're just built, men and women are built differently. And oh, there was that girl. I forgot her name. It was this blonde girl. She was like talking in an interview and she was crying and she beat that guy, the swimmer. What's that swimmer's name? Oh, what's the trans swimmer's name?
Yeah, I forget.
Oh, let me see if I can look it up real quick.
Lee
Riley
Thomas
Gaines.
Thompson.
Leah Thomas. Yeah. Yes. Riley Gaines, I think, is the girl. But the girl, beat Leah Thomas. And Leah Thomas is a transgender uh, woman, but biologically is a male. She beat him by, I don't know, some crazy number, like something tenths of a second or 30th of a second, something crazy like that. But it was clear that she won. Even though he's a dude, that's how not good he is. Not that he's bad, but he's just not good enough to beat this woman, not good enough to beat any men. So like, what are you doing there? You can't cut it. You don't switch over to the women now and dominate the sport. That's unacceptable. And how does that even feel good? Like that's like me, like I don't know, doing a spelling bee with a bunch of like kindergartners. Like I'm gonna dominate it, and then like I would feel like a loser because I beat a bunch of children, little children. Because I probably like third graders would probably beat me at this point because they'd be studying. I've been out of school, but I would,
And
I
they
would
had that show, Are You Smarter Than in Fifth Grade? Some of the adults lost.
of course they do because we're not in school anymore. Remember that stuff. But yeah, like it's really crazy that she won and then they did not give her the trophy. They told her they were giving it to him, and he lost. What is the point of that? Why would they give that to him? Like, I don't get that. I thought that was crazy. That's not cool. And then see, then she got a little weird because she was like crying about him being there in the locker room, um, like with them changing. She was like, "Oh, and I looked over and blah blah blah." Like, I mean, I get it, I do, but I didn't think it was cry worthy. But it is what it is, because I've never been in a locker room with dudes just stuff hanging around, things, whatever. Like, of course it could be weird, but I think that if you're trans and you're a man biologically, and if you're trans and you're a woman biologically, you guys should have your own sports category. So that if you guys want to go against each other, then that's fine. But let regular biological hetero women go against regular biological hetero women, and same thing with men. Men go against men, women go against women, and then trans can go against the trans. If they figure it out in there, they want to change in the locker rooms together, all that's fine because they've already decided that that's what they want to do. I think that's the most fair, as opposed to some little 5'3" woman trying to swim against a 6'3" man. Just by height alone, he's got an advantage. You know, like 2 strokes, and he's like halfway through the pool, and she's got to take like 10. Because she's like a foot shorter. It's crazy. I don't know. I think they should make their own category. Let's write to the president. Let's go. We're going to the White House, Glenn. You ready?
Oh yeah.
We should do it. Yeah, we should. I think that's a great idea, don't you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're not the first people to talk about it. I've heard that idea a few times. Where yeah, if they want to compete, they should have a league where they're competing together. You know.
I haven't heard it, but I don't really look at these things. But I think that's crazy. The bathroom situation, I don't generally care, but it could become a security issue for men. So, um, yo, do you watch Mr. Beast? Or you know who Mr.
No,
Okay, you may not
but
watch him. You know who Mr. Beast is?
I do know who Mr. Beast is. I don't watch Mr. Beast, but I do know who Mr. Beast is.
I don't either. I've watched maybe 1 or 2 videos. Apparently, I don't remember what Mr. Beast's name actually is, but he has a name and he's got a crew. One of the guys on his crew, I believe his name is Chris. He had a family and has kids, and he was a regular, like, regular hetero guy, and masculine, maybe not, crazy, not alpha or whatever, but regular guy. And then he started transitioning and divorced his wife, and he has said some inappropriate things, like kind of sexually perverse things. He has since deleted those tweets, but the internet never forgets. So they're still
No,
out
it doesn't.
they're still out there, and now look at him. He's transitioning, divorced the wife, he's letting his hair grow out, he's taking hormones. He posted a picture of his kid, who's a boy, with like little girl Elsa heels on. What are you doing? What are you doing? I think that's weird.
Yeah, I heard about this story. Yeah,
I don't know,
it's a
man.
pretty crazy story.
It is like, if that's how you felt, because a lot of people say like, "Oh, I feel like I'm in the wrong body." Well, did you feel like that your whole life, or is this something new? Because you got married and you seem to be happy, and you made children, and now, after your whole life of being a regular hetero man, now all of a sudden you don't feel like you're in the right body? That's strange to me. Like, what do you think that is that could cause that?
I mean, I would have to assume a good amount of the time it's some kind of trauma, but I can't say that's every occurrence. Maybe just some unchecked behavior, like the kid starts doing copying mommy things, and it goes unchecked. Like you were saying with David, how you told David, no, don't do that. Don't put nail polish on because mommy does. You know, those things go unchecked. Um, I think those are the two main causes. I would think.
How about, like, what do you think about maybe Mr. Beast or whoever part of the team, you think they would have told him to do that? Like for more views and to, you know, get that audience a little wider or broader?
And that's always a possibility too. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people who watch his channel are kids. So I would hope not, but you can't put it past them. Can't put anything past any of these guys these days, unfortunately. I just thought that's crazy. Like, rip your family apart, and now you want to be like wearing headbands. Like, oh, whatever, man. You can wear a headband if you want. That doesn't make you a girl. Like, that's just the thing for me. Like, what are you doing? Like, honestly, I want someone who's transgender to just actually tell me what they're doing. Not because it's my business, just because I would like to understand that person and see if it makes sense. It might not make sense. It might not make sense to me. It might make sense to other people, but it's just a very confusing situation and topic. And like, I don't know what's going on here. And sometimes it seems like they don't know what's going on either, to me.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of confusion. Um, because
Yeah.
I've seen videos of people that have transitioned that do regret it, you know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, me too. I've seen that.
where
That's
they
for the
just wish
people
they
who did
could
the
go back.
surgery, though, right?
That or after they've taken a bunch of hormone pills,
Mm-hmm.
trying to go back to their natural hormone production, you know, just like a bodybuilders that take a lot of stuff like TRT and whatever. Like if you take hormone replacement therapy,
Mm-hmm.
it affects your body's ability to produce hormones naturally.
Yeah, that makes sense. That happened with my dog. I mean, they didn't give him hormones, but they took his hormones before he was fully developed, and then he was never able to build up the muscle that he would have, you know,
Mm-hmm.
at first. So yeah, that makes sense. It's crazy though. I don't know, man. I wanna. I think I should try to see if I can interview a transgender person. All that stuff is pretty tough. Well, um, I'm going to let you go, and we're gonna leave it here because I think you have to
Okay.
go to right.
Yeah, I'm pulling up now.
Perfect timing. All right. Well, we will discuss more later, and
Cool.
let's say bye to the people who aren't even watching yet.
Guys in handicapped and Hotland,
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your night.
All right. You too. Thanks, guys.